Right, the masterclass is beginning and people are starting to arrive into the masterclass. Thank you, everybody. We'll give everybody a few moments to arrive. Do feel free, everybody, to just say hi in the chat box. And don't forget to mark your comments to all panelists and attendees so everybody can see you say hi. So this is the National Performance Programme for EPTA UK. This is our first season, and in each season we're running a festival, a competition with a masterclass, and a concert. So we did the festival in April, and this month we have run the competition, which had all different ability levels, all different classes, which was adjudicated by Nancy Litten and Rowan Cousins. And from that, 4 performers have been chosen to work with Nancy at the masterclass this afternoon. And you can see some of those lovely performers on your screen right now. So we have Fiona, and we have Eleanor, and we have Aidan. And later on this afternoon, Bally will be joining us, but a small delay. So I'm delighted to introduce you to Nancy Litten. She is a long-standing member of EPTA UK and one of our regional organisers. She has over 30 years teaching experience and more years of experience of examining and adjudicating than she cares to remember. So she's done plenty of feedback for these 3 performers already, as well as many others who I hope are here in the audience. And I'm going to hand over to Nancy, who'll be working first with Eleanor. So the rest of us will disappear while Eleanor and Nancy get to work. Thank you, Nancy.
Well, it's a great delight to see you all, having just seen you on your videos and now to be able to speak to you. And we're going to hear from all of you, but we'll start with Eleanor, who I must say gave a most balanced programme. She played 3 pieces, 3 short pieces, but in that time she had covered CPE Bach and Reinecke and Bartok, so early classical, romantic and 20th century. And my goodness, she did capture the mood of each one. So I wondered if, first of all, we can ask you to play your programme to us, and then I'm going to talk to you a bit, particularly about the march, probably. So when you're ready, Eleanor. With the sound. We're getting a few buzzing noises with the sound. I don't know whether anything can be done about that.
Don't worry.
With this
I'll bring that volume down.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes. Just play the ending of that again, Eleanor.
So you started from the second half?
Yes. And we'll move on to your Reinecke. Thank you. And then the Bartok, which comes from For Children. It's the Allegro. Yes, I love that very sudden forte at the end, and also the slowing down before it. Bartok loved the folk songs of his country, Hungary, and he collected them. And so this is a setting of one of them, and you'll see how the phrase shape and the phrase lengths are quite unusual. When you've played music from the classical era, where you have very often 4-bar phrases, and here you've got sort of 3 bars and then 2 bars. So you've got the sort of 5 plus 3, 5 made up of 3 plus 2. And another thing worth remembering is that Hungarian tends to have the accent on the beginning of a word. So this explains why very little Hungarian music has an upbeat, tends to start at the beginning of a bar. So I'd like you to just think about the lengths of the phrases and bring that out. You'll also notice that you've got the same tune all the way through. Did you see that? So you have the same tune 3 times. So now that is basically the tune, and it comes back 3 times, but with something different going on underneath. Different accompaniments. Don't forget those accents where they come, and draw attention to what happens at the end as well. So it becomes more thoughtful. And then, of course, straight into... And just one point, you're a very fine young player, but if you make any slip in public performance, just carry on. Incorporate any wrong notes into your playing so that there is never a break. And the audience might not realise it, because they might not know the piece as well as you do. Right, so off we go again with the Bartok. Excellent ending. When you've played the first 8 bars, just take a breath, because that's the end of your tune. When you come to... because that's where the tune starts again, rather than just running it together. So just play me the first part of that, getting to where the tune is repeated. Yeah, but it's only tiny. It's only tiny. Just to draw attention to the lengths of the phrases. Now, something that I wanted to say about the march is that a lot of the time when we play this piece, we play it from a piece of music which has been annotated by an editor with lots of accents and dots and so on. And what I want you to do is to experiment. If you download this piece from IMSLEP, which is the International Music Score Library Project, where you can get free music that's out of copyright, you'll find it's completely blank. There are no dynamics, there are no dots and dashes, absolutely nothing. So you can experiment. You can try playing it all smoothly. You can try playing it very staccato. You can experiment with the dynamics. For instance, the first time you might decide it's forte. There, and then the second time you might decide so that you can do a repeat. And then after the double bar, where the music has moved, allow it to breathe. Feel that different key in your bones when you get there. So, because there are no dynamics marked, you can have fun deciding on them. And you can also have fun deciding on the articulation. That's the slurs and the staccato. In this period, which was really the end of the Baroque, because this was a son of Johann Sebastian Bach, the end of the Baroque and the beginning of the classical era, very often the quavers would be played smoothly and then some of the left hand crotchets would be detached, but not always. So personally, I quite like going with a smooth left hand. And then bringing out what's happening in the left. It's a bit like hornpipe. Can you see a little hornpipe going on there? So you've just had, and then left hand, it sort of imitates. So although a lot of the time the melody is in the right hand, there's just the odd moment where the left hand can be quite important. So you can bring that out. All right? So just have a go at that first half, and when the left hand is not just in a supporting role, enjoy yourself with it. Just play me the first half. Yes, that was terrific. That was wonderful. The left hand came more alive. Now, the same thing happens in the second half. A lot of the time, the left hand is supporting, but later on, it's got a part of its own. That's a tricky bar, isn't it? But you want to enjoy the melodic possibilities of that bar. So, would you like to play the second half now? Yes, so the bar where you can do more with your left hand, and also bar 4. Because you've just had. Try that again. Second half. So in that bar, you need to listen to your left hand and make sure that you can almost sing in your mind while the left hand plays. And then when we come to the song by Reinecke, this has a lovely tune, and I made up some words to it. So, are you coming to the seaside? Are you coming there with me? So, just to get you to let the phrases breathe just a little more. So, are you coming to the seaside? Are you coming there with me? And then every piece of music has its focal point. And I think this builds to one as well. So you could go on, there we'll make some sandy castles, have some ice creams for our tea, then we'll plunge into the waves, and then it's gentler. Are you coming? So what I think you could do is just build up to that middle bit a little more. Then we'll plunge into the waves so that we get the contrast. So just play me that one last time, that piece, trying to build up to that point, and then we must move on to the next player. Thank you very much, Eleanor. So now we're going to move on to Fiona, who is there waiting in the wings to play us Iber's Le Petit Don Blanc, the little white donkey from his second piece called Histoire.
Thank you so much, Eleanor. I'm going to, oh, she's done it already. She's switched her camera off. Lovely. Fiona and Nancy, thank you. Off you go.
Shall I start?
Yes, yes. I was just going to say that Ibert was very much influenced by poems and by real life situations when he wrote his music. So you could almost think of it as program music. A lot of his music was orchestral, but his publisher commissioned this set of pieces and one other for piano. And it's very helpful to think up some kind of a narrative, some kind of a storyline when you play it. So we look forward to enjoying it. So Fiona is a very capable pianist, lovely neat staccato bouncing along underneath, and many of the details noticed. There are some more to find, however. You'll find that 20th century composers are most prescriptive. Most of how they want the piece played is there in the copy. So, for instance, every time there's a staccato, every time there's a stress note, see what you can do to bring it out. You'll see near the beginning in the second line, can you see that one? There's one to notice. And then a couple of bars on, I feel as if this is the donkey flipping his tail to get flies off. So make sure that's really neat and that you don't hold all the notes down. We don't want that. We want... Just try that with your right hand. That's it, that's it. So don't hold all the notes down. It's a sort of flick at that point. And then at the bottom of the first page, if you've got the same, you've probably got Le Duc. Have you? French?
I'm not sure what print it is.
Soutenu, sustained, at the bottom of the first page. Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's right. So that means a little slower. And you see it's got little hairpins. So I'm just wondering if this happy rider on his donkey, who's whistling a merry tune, is starting to feel slightly sick because of the donkey flipping the flies off. Because if you play it as marked, you start to feel just a little queasy. So here you are. It's those lower notes. And combined with slowing down, makes you feel slightly seasick. So see if you can lead into that and remember to slow it down a little at that point. So go from one of those. That's very good, very good. Well done. Don't forget the staccatos after the tail flicks. So you've got a lift there. Ta-ta-da-da. Anyway, we've got to the start of the second page, and it's very easy to miss the last accent that's there because it's not with the pedal. So that one is very easy to miss. So see if you can get that one in. Would you like to go from the top there? Yeah, you see that one? It's not easy to do. Try that very thing there. That's right. You see, Ibert is very fond of putting accents in iconoclastic places on weak beats of the bar, etc., which makes it quite jazzy. Now, you need to still be a little slower and get a little slower still, so that the soudain très gai, very suddenly, very jolly, is apparent. So therefore, if you're slowing down here, stay at that speed. And then right up to speed. See, and then it makes far more of an impression. So just do the last two bars. So here you are, a little slower. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Okay.
All right, try that. That's splendid. Good. Well done. Well done. Now, you'll notice in the next line, some of these chords are pedalled and some aren't. Now, it's very tempting to give all of them pedal, but eBay does that for a reason. So here, that one you have to do with fingers only, so that he gradually gets a bit of a diminuendo in. So just try that line.
Which bit?
That's the...
Okay.
Yeah, etc. All right. So don't use pedal there. And then, of course, you brought out that bass tune very nicely. When we get to the bottom line, again, notice the first one has pedal and the others don't. So they're drier than the first one. And then, of course, we get to these big, big accents at the top, etc. All right. And it's very important that we do a gradual slowing down. Now, we come back to our melody and we think it's exactly the same, but it isn't. Because here it's pianissimo instead of piano. And the accompaniment is 3 Ps. Also, there's no change in the dynamics and there's no slowing down when we get to that. So it's different from before. So I'm thinking that at the very beginning, you probably want a slightly warmer melody. Here's the, I imagine a young man, because young men are so good at whistling, and I imagine him whistling. So I think at the beginning, if you put the soft pedal down, but you give it a little bit of weight for the tune, you can then be different from the second time. So here's the first time. I know it starts on the second beat of the bar, but you need to give it a little bit of weight. Just try that, the very beginning, with the soft pedal down, but a bit of weight on your tune. Right, so the difference is, when we come to this part, that we play delicately. Really, really delicately. So try that from the join there and the long pause. Yeah, but very, very quiet. That's right, that's lovely, good. So that makes it different from before, and you probably noticed how near the end it's smooth. That is smooth this time. And also, there's no pedal here. Personally, what I do is I keep the soft pedal down. So I'm using the soft pedal from the start until the end of the first page. And then I'm putting it on again for the return of the tune. And I'm keeping it on till the end to prevent me playing these too loudly. I can still make quite a good sound on those accents. So just try this slurry bit. That's it. And enjoy pulling it back here. And then if you want to, you could let the soft pedal off. So remember, you're a bit slower than normal. And then put the soft pedal back on. All right, so just try that ending for me from the very last line. Yes, so even more of a difference between the two. So this is slower. It's a big yawny Eeyore. And then this is just wrapping the whole thing up. And there's silence between the two. So there's just a tiny little rest between the two. Just do the big yawny Eeyore for me. That's it. Lovely. Great. So ways you can make it even more characterful. It's very capable playing, and that just gives you some pointers for bringing out the humour of it even more. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you'll still be around at the end.
Yeah.
And I will call upon Aidan next.
Thank you so much, Fiona. Let's see if we can get Aidan's camera on. And I'm going to switch yours off, Fiona. Thank you for playing. Hi there, Aidan.
Hello.
Hi. So Liz, can you tell me whether Bally has arrived or not?
Bally has not arrived yet.
Okay, so we'll start our playing in a moment, Aidan, but just to say you might be getting a quarter of an hour, or you might be getting longer if Bally is not able to turn up, obviously.
Okay.
But you've got two big pieces here. Now, I was so impressed with the way you played the Rachmaninoff, and I thought it would be really nice to have a performance of that at the end of the whole masterclass. So Liz, do interrupt and tell me if Bally arrives, because I don't shortchange him. Now, regarding the Beethoven, have you, as a result of my comments online, managed to get a more orchestral texture into this, do you think?
I've tried.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that Beethoven started out when he first moved to Vienna as a stunning virtuoso pianist. That's what he was known for, first of all. This sonata comes from his middle period when he was starting to move in new directions. And one of the reasons why he needed to move in different directions, there he is, was because of developing deafness and also digestive problems, which were with him for the rest of his life. And being the stormy character that he was tempestuous about everything. And so he was battling with this while he was composing and while he was making a name for himself. And very often he used his piano sonatas as a way of working out his compositional techniques and his symphonies. Everything seems to come back into his piano works if you want a microcosm of his output. So that means that we play Beethoven differently from playing, shall we say, Chopin, where we might have a beautiful limpid melody. With Beethoven, the forte sound is going to be more chunky and a little more supported from the bass. So, for instance, at the beginning, I think you could imagine the whole of the string section doing their dum 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 pa. Imagine the violins, the violas, the cellos, the basses, all playing that together. And meanwhile, perhaps you've got the clarinets and the bassoons doing something like that underneath. So there's quite a hue and a cry about that. But then, of course, Beethoven could play very delicately when you get to all that sort of filigree work. So I'd like to hear real contrasts about the two. And something else I want to draw to your attention is, you know, your first subject is this. When you get to the middle, where you're having to cross the hands in the developments, he is using that first thing. If you look at your right hand there, it's the same thing, and even the left hand going over. It's reminiscent of your first thing. And an idea for you to try, I don't know whether you do at the moment, but if you try that without pedal when it's forte, and just add pedal when it goes into the piano, it helps to bring across the fact that he's imitating that first theme a little better. I'm not suggesting you do that now if you haven't tried it before, obviously, because you're going to play it through to us. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for contrast, we're looking for body and chunkiness in the chords, and even when they're marked staccato, don't make the staccato too short and too light, unless it's piano.
Yeah.
actually, that sounds more stormy and more orchestral. So very well done. Notice where there are really sudden changes. So, for instance, I don't know whether you've got bar numbers on yours, but bar 74 is an example. I heard too much sound in that bar, and we're still on a piano. So that's when, bang, that's when he'd have woken up his audience, because they would have been enjoying all this lovely gentle stuff. And they'd be lulled to sleep, and then all of a sudden, bang, in with a forte. Just nothing in between, right? So, just, can you go from the C major bit? That's bar 67. Yeah, that's better, but don't emphasize those E's too much. I'm hearing too much of that. He's just rounding it off. All right, and again, just go from the G7. That's it. That's lovely. And then, of course, the contrast. Really, almost as if he's taking the mickey out of his own writing. So you've got really overdo it. If you overdo it, you'll probably get it just about right. You may think you're sending it up, but in point of fact, audiences will love it. So let's just have that passage again. So from the start of the development up to where we've got to, up to the...
Okay.
And remember, when you're playing these chords, nice and chunky in the left, plenty going on. This isn't Chopin. So what you don't want is a sort of lots of top and not enough bottom. It's got to have this raging sea underneath. Yes, splendid, splendid. You see, that has me on the edge of my seat with excitement. So, well done. You're such a capable pianist. You're able to put things into operation when I suggest them. Very good. Now, if you could hang around, I will talk to Bally, who has just arrived, having had travelling problems. And then I'd like you to round off the whole masterclass at the end by playing your Rachmaninoff.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aidan.
Hello.
Bally. Hi, Bally. Bally, can I just check, do you have an adult in the room with you? If they could just wave to me so I can see that there's someone with you. Hi, thank you very much. Nancy, away you go.
Yes, yes. Bally, I'm so glad you've made it to play to us today. You played 2 pieces by Bach in the competition. You played the little prelude in C minor, and then you played the first prelude from the 48 Preludes and Fugues in C major. And you played them very musically. What I was mentioning in my comments was technical issues. The fact that all these semiquavers need to be even. And it's a very good idea, for instance, to practice without pedal, even if you are going to use pedal, because then any irregularity will show up. And there are ways you can go about it to help yourself. I'm saying this, you may have tried it, but I'm saying this because it's a webinar and there may be other people who want to try these methods as well. So you try breaking it down, for instance. So that the last of those semiquavers leads in to the minim at the bottom. Would you like to try that? Did you see what I was doing? So I was playing the left hand and then I was playing the second group of semiquavers. So I was going left, right, left, right. See if you can do that. Yeah. Can you, I know I will hear you perform it in a minute, but I'm just giving you a few little exercises that you can try with it. So see if you can leave out the right hand till you get to the second beat. So left, ticker, ticker, left, ticker, ticker. Just try that without any pedal. That's it. Well done. That's the idea. Because then you will train your ear to play in a really regular way, going straight from those right hand ticka-taka semiquavers. All right, so just try that a bit faster. That's it. So you can try the whole piece through like that, and then you can try this one. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving out in the right hand notes 4 and 5. Just try that. Yes, and then I play the last one. So I play C, E, G, C, E, E, C, E, G, C, E. Yes, try it, just try that much. Yes? So just the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. That's it, right? So holding the left hand, but not holding the right hand notes. That's it, that's right. And when you've got used to playing the whole thing through like that, then you can add the final semiquaver. They're just different ways of practicing this to get it really even. Anyway, what I really liked about the way you played this was the rise and fall of the music. And this is driven by the harmonies. And you obviously felt those harmonies quite keenly. It's interesting, did you know there was a publisher called Schrenk who published some of these? He was a friend of C.P.E. Bach. And he decided that Bach needed to add an extra bar. So between bar 22 and bar 23, he added another bar. So that was a bit of a cheek, wasn't it? I think it's perfect as it is, don't you? But in fact, when Gounod wrote his Ave Maria, Ave Maria, he used Schrenk's version, which has an extra bar in there. Just an interesting fact for you. Okay, so here we have harmonies. That is just distilling each bar down to its harmony. So that's another way you can practice the piece to get a sense of its direction. But I thought you played it with a great sense of musical instinct. So if you're ready, let's hear the C major prelude. That was lovely. I really enjoyed that. Something you could do at the end is to just spread out the notes of the chord. If you want to. It's just an idea for you to try. And of course, those little exercises I gave you can also be applied to the C minor prelude. So, would you like to play that for us now? again, that was rather nice. Beautiful play. Thank you very much. And now, Liz, will it be okay if I ask Aidan to come back and play his Rachmaninoff?
I think we'd love to hear that Rachmaninoff to finish off. I've asked Aidan to switch his camera back on. It's wonderful.
So
I'm sure that I'm sure the audience won't mind if we overrun a little bit. So go ahead.
So this is the Elegy by Rachmaninoff. It's actually set for the Grade 8 Piano Associated Board, 2019 to 20. And Aidan played it so beautifully, I didn't actually give him a single word of criticism in my write-up. So here is a treat for you on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you. Well done, Aidan. Such a musical performance. Thank you very much indeed. So thank you to all 4 players and to our listeners who have joined us, and to Liz for setting it up and making it possible.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for a wonderful afternoon. So interesting and insightful. My young son is sitting here with me and saying, "Oh, I could try that on my piece." So hopefully, there's plenty of other people in the audience who are also having those type of thoughts. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you, Bally, and thank you, Aidan. On behalf of everybody, I'm going to clap. And you can't hear all the rest of the audience, but I'm sure that they are too. And it was wonderful to hear you all. And I hope to the audience that it was helpful, and that we will actually get to hear you playing again at future events with National Performance Programme. So I think that's over and out from EPTA UK this afternoon. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nancy. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the sunny weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.